Hey everybody, it's Alyssa here, and today I wanted to bring you a video on the pros and cons of working for VIP Petcare. For those of you that didn't know, last year for about 5 months I worked for VIP Petcare. If you guys don't know what they are, it is a mobile vet clinic. It's a preventative care clinic, so they do a lot of like vaccines. They'll do like a normal like 40x blood test for dogs, like feline leukemia test for cats. So just your normal. I was a veterinary assistant and we just did preventative mobile care clinics. That's what it was. So we'll start with the pros of working for VIP Petcare and then we'll go into the cons. So number one, you help a large volume of pets. So on average, most, at least the VIP Petcare location I worked for, we went all over New England and New York, and we would do about 3 clinics a day Saturday and then 3 clinics a day on Sunday, depending on like what route you were on and all that jazz. But a lot of the clinics you could see 15 to 30 pets in an hour and a half. So multiply that times, say you go out every single clinic over the weekend, multiply that times 6, you see a large volume of pets that you are then basically helping a large volume of pets, which is great. Another point would be that it's really good to introduce you into the veterinary field. So I had some experience before working in veterinary medicine, but if you're very new, you don't really know what you want to do, you want to give it a try, it's a really great place to work because it can give you a lot of experience and how it usually works. On top of it can introduce you to a lot of veterinarians, a lot of other people that are more qualified than you, and you can learn a lot that way. And kind of on that note, a lot of networking. So for us, we would have usually one vet on Saturday and a different vet on Sunday. They were local to the area that we were in. They weren't all coming from the same area that we were at. But it gives you the opportunity to network with a lot of new veterinarians. A lot of the more local routes, a lot of people I worked with at VIP would get involved in the clinics that one of the vets on for VIP Petcare, like they would get into one of their clinics, like because it's a contact, and you can also make a lot of good references that way too. Be that you get a lot of hours. So on average, we would work anywhere from 10 to 12 hours on Saturday or Sunday, and that could go all the way up to 14 hours each day depending on where you were going. So I know if I was sent to New Hampshire or New York, a lot of the times I would work from 6:30 in the morning until 8 at night. So you get quite a few hours within 2 days. So it was really nice when last semester when I was in school, because I am full-time at university, that I could get a lot of hours in 2 days. It's like what, 25 hours on average? That's probably overestimating, within 2 days of the week. So I mean, it is very tiring that way, but if you don't have a lot of time, it's really good for college students if you don't go out and party like me. There's a lot of hours in comparison to clinic hours. So on average, you have 3 clinics throughout the day, and each of them is an hour and a half. So what is that, 5.5 hours out of a 14-hour day that you have to work other parts, but like work, you know what I mean? It's a pretty good trade-off. And it's also very good just to be able to learn and train the basics. So blood draws, vaccinations, talking to clients, recommendations, that's really good. It's just the basics. Like, you're not placing catheters, you're not doing any like additional like crazy treatment. Like, they don't have snap tests on them, so they don't run the testing there, but it's very good training for the basics. And now getting into the cons of working for VIP Petcare, the first thing that was big for me, which is really ultimately the reason why I left, is you can't really grow as a vet technician or a veterinary nurse at VIP Petcare. So there's nowhere for you to be able to, like, you can't insert catheters, you can't participate in dental, surgery, cardiology, like immunology, like there's like oncology, internal medicine. There's just so many other aspects of veterinary medicine that you're not going to get exposed to with VIP Petcare, which is the reason why I left, because I want to be in veterinary medicine for the rest of my life. So working for VIP it wasn't going to last long term for me. Another part is you have to deal with a lot of fractious pets. So if you guys don't know what the word fractious means, they're like the crazy insane dangerous ones, or wiggly depending on who you're working with. You deal with a lot of fractious pets because a lot of the pets that go to VIP Petcare are going because they can't necessarily afford to go to a regular veterinarian. That's why it is very, very good to have those clinics, but it could also be the only treatment that the animal ever sees, and they could not be very well socialized. So the animals themselves could naturally be aggressive, not socialized. There's a lot of factors. You're in like a tractor supply, like it's not a good environment for like cats per se, like that don't ever leave their house. But it's the amount of fractious pets that I had in my time there was ridiculous. Like it gets like, sometimes it can be pretty scary if you're dealing with fractious pets. A lot of times, like, it's quick in and out. It's the fractious cats that get me a little bit more than dogs. Like, I can handle pretty much the dogs, but like the fractious cats are a little scary to me. I'm just more of a dog person than a cat person, but that's just me. One of the other challenging things is you have different vets all the time, so you have to learn different preferences all the time. So we had a lot of veterinarians that would not care if you would switch the needle after drawing up a vaccine. We'd have some vets that would only use 22 gauge needles, only use 25 gauge needles, I don't know, there were so many different things. There's just a lot of different preferences. Like some veterinarians would give an exam, some veterinarians wouldn't, some are not comfortable with giving, say, a dog pack that they offer with the rabies at the same time for a small dog, or some other vets don't care. So it depends, and or even for just offering like intranasal Bordetella versus injectable Bordetella. It's just every single time you go into a new day, it's new preferences, and it can get very confusing. Another con is you never really have weekends off. So I know I left right before the holidays and they had the weekend before Christmas and the weekend before New Year's off. But other than that, you pretty much, unless you request a day or a weekend off, you are working every single weekend from sun up to sundown. So you don't really get any time. And if you want to go out in between shifts, it's all up to you. Like a lot of my coworkers would do that, but I couldn't. Like I'd go to bed. Some people would go out and they'd come in the morning like still like hungover, and I'm like, I would not be surviving. It just ultimately sucked because you never had weekends. So if your friends or family ever wanted to do anything, you couldn't. But overall, I really did like working for VIP Petcare. It was a really great experience. And you did get a lot of hours, which the pay was pretty good, and you could get raises very easily if you got accolades, which I can go into another video on if you guys were really curious about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my pros and cons of working at VIP Petcare. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye everybody.